Welcome back, everybody, to Miniature Garden. We all left the infirmary together. No, we couldn't even find the silver-haired girl last time we went to look for her. Ayana muttered something under her breath after a few minutes of wandering through the dead, silent corridors. There still seemed to be not a soul beside us in this place. Whoops, why did that do that? Hang on. Where's the log button? I know there is one. Okay. My phone's saying it's 5 o'clock in the evening. If the marriage festival was really on, everyone would be starting the night festivities right about now. But of course, that was not traceably happening. Wait, 5 o'clock? What was the time when I checked the phone back in the classroom? I only remembered thinking it was almost evening. I was looking forward to the festival shops. Sumika drooped her head. You don't have any sense of danger, do you? Feeling anxiety not myself, I couldn't help reacting to her words. I had no idea how she could say something like that in the situation. But it took interrupted us before any of us could say anything else. What is it? What? I followed his eyes. And there she stood. On the roof of the school, visible through the window, her long silver twin tails fluttering in the wind. That was definitely her. Let's go before she goes anywhere else again. I started running. Ayana started after me, and I soon could hear the footsteps of the others too.
I can fly.
You only live once, that's right. It's only going to be short-lived if you do that. We continued toward the roof, joking to lighten the mood. We have to. It's utterly hopeless otherwise. We have to light the mood. I opened the door with the last breath I could muster. The girl was still there, thank God. Her gaze that seemed to have been looking down on something slowly shifted to us. What do you know? Tell me. Emotionless red eyes. And a black bow. She didn't move, so I took a few steps toward her instead. What are you doing here? Well, I guess it isn't, but we were looking for you. I heard Itsuki and the others finally catch up to me. We wanted to ask you something. We were trying to figure out what's going on. We need all the information we can get. And back then you were talking like you knew something. What do you know? Yeah. The girl let out a small breath and faced me. What? Why? For what purpose? Kill your memories? What the hell does that mean? Are you kidding? What? We've been assembled here to be killed? By whom? How do you know all this? The girl revealed everything in a completely calm tone. It was definitely true that someone assaulted and locked us up here. Was that person still hiding somewhere in this place? Or it could be that one of us was actually lying. I hope that wasn't the case, at least. I considered the girl one more time. A young but thoroughly calm face. Her red eyes were fixed right back to me. So just in case, none of you have met her before? I turned around to see everyone give me a shrug of confirmation. Can I ask what your name is? I'm Igusa Yasunari. Komiya Ryo. I see, Komiya. So how come you're so knowledgeable about what's going on? You weren't randomly imprisoned here like the rest of us, then?
私も。
Then why? How do you know all this?
この学園の噂をいろいろと耳にしていただけ。
Our school did indeed have its fair share of weird rumors. Some students would even enroll here for that reason alone.
小宮さんも七不思議に興味がある口?
Sensing a comrade, Itsuki addressed her in a friendly tone.
そんなところ。
そっか、俺もなんだ。よろしく頼むよ。
よろしく。
The two exchanged the words of a greeting, though Komiya's sounded more like a courtesy than a genuine gesture of friendship. Well, I'm glad the two of you are on the same page, but I'd rather you didn't just put a lid on the situation by ascribing it to inexplicable mysteries.
さっきの話は噂じゃない。きっとこれからあなたたちもわかる。
In other words, you could say she declared her life sentences in a kind of roundabout way. Then, do you know how we can escape from this? Instead of answering, Komiya slowly moved next to Sumika and considered her blue eyes for a long moment. Sumika mumbled, "What?" in a confused voice. Komiya, however, said nothing, and this time moved to Ayana.
何かな?
Ayana addressed her in a confused voice as well. What's she doing?
タイムリミットは今日の夜。
Midnight? That was what she told us after poking an empty space in front of her, as if trying to rummage air for a moment.
タイムリミットって夜までに出られなきゃ殺されて死ぬってこと？
そう。
Komiya faced me again.
このままだと今日私たちは怪奇七不思議に殺される。打開策は知らない。私はその打開策を探しに来た。
へえ。
Itsuki seemed genuinely interested in the whole thing. Guess he doesn't care.
その話、俺は面白いと思うよ。どうせ出られないんなら、小宮さんと一緒に打開策を探してみるのもいいんじゃない？
We're all going to die at midnight. You realize this, right? He continued in a carefree tone. It didn't sound like Komiya particularly wanted our help, but given that we had nothing better to do anyway, it was probably best to stick with her for the time being. Though personally, I wasn't really buying into this whole seven mysteries or memory-killing business. I hope she wasn't mentally ill.
協力するなら私は先輩たちに従います。
So I guess seemed pretty cooperative. Well, I guess there was no point in worrying about the grounds of her theory for now. Yeah, although I find the whole thing about being killed a bit hard to take in. Still, I couldn't outright deny the possibility. After all, something did assault and imprison us in this place.
小宮さんのその話に関しては、例えば
Probably because I seemed unsure, Itsuki took it on himself to clarify.
学園の怪奇七不思議の一つには、ミナティウル祭に神隠しに会うっていうのがあってね。そしてその七不思議の締めは、神隠しにあった生徒は、翌日何事もなかったように、最後にいた場所で目を覚ませ。ただし本人は、その間の記憶が全くないってものだったりする。
さっきの綾菜先輩みたいですね。
ね。まあそんな感じに、ミナティウル祭に関しては、やたら怪奇現象の話が多い。面白がって過去の生徒が作ったんだと思うんだけど。
そういうものの一種だと言いたいの？
可能性はあるかもねって話だよ。
Komiya made an unconvinced face in regards to Itsuki's words. She might still be hiding something that convinced her of the truth of her theory, but as long as she didn't share it with us, it was asking the impossible for us to just put up and believe everything. In the end, even Itsuki, who suggested helping her, was probably thinking something along the lines of playing along until I figured out what was truly going on.
信じるのも信じないのも好きにすればいい。でも、あなたたちにはまだ今以上のことは話せない。
She didn't seem like she was particularly excited about the prospect of cooperating with us. Is there a reason why you can't tell us everything outright?
今は、だけれど、 打開策が見つからなければ、私たちは死ぬ。あなたたちに今話せるのは、これだけ。
それでも協力する理由としては妥当なんじゃない？身を守るために動くのは普通でしょ。
Itsuki was calm and collected as always. You said we'd be killed. Is that still related to us all being assaulted and hit in the head earlier today? That hinted to it being the work of a human, if anything.
あると思う。
She answered in the most serious of tones.
目撃者っていないんだよね。
Ayana reluctantly asked a question we were all wondering about, but none of us stepped forward.
その人が校舎内に潜んでたりするんですかね。だって出れないってそういうことですよね。
Sumika seemed anxious for a change. In that case, that person will find us sooner or later.
ねえ、安成はこうなる前に呼び出されてたよね。
Ayana considered me with the timid eyes. Yeah, by an underclassman.
それって偶然だったの？
So you continue with the questions. You're saying it's suspicious. I can't say it's not, but the guy has no reason to do something like this. I mean, I really doubt he even knows any of you.
そうじゃなくてさ、俺たちはこうなる前、みんな互いに何をしていたかを知らないんだよ。
でも、私は安成が出ていくところ見てるよ。
出ていくところまでだろ？その後、確かに中庭にいたと証明できる人は？
いないけど。
Ayana seemed to interpret this as Itsuki suspecting my motives, her features taking on a concerned look. Well, you just said that none of you even knew what you were doing before this happened. That doesn't sound much of an alibi to me. No one said a thing, just timidly shifted their eyes to me. In the end, we were all in the same situation.
ごめん。つまりさ、信じる信じないは今は不毛だって話。
Realizing the mood had grown heavy, Itsuki corrected himself.
誰かが嘘をついていても誰もわからないし、確認する術もないってことですよね。
そういうこと。こういう面倒な問題になりそうな部分は先にはっきりさせておいた方がいいだろ。
Then don't go about it as a roundabout way next time.
悪かったって。
Slightly exasperated by Itsuki's carefree attitude, I glanced at Komiya to see that she was looking somewhere outside the fence again. We couldn't find her this morning. The silver-haired girl that appeared as though out of nowhere? She said something about not being able to tell us everything yet. I better not let our guard down. Better keep an eye on her. It seemed like she had her own reasons for not telling us everything, and didn't come off like a bad person, but it was a bit hard to put our trust in someone we didn't know in the situation.
とりあえずさ、小宮さんも連れて一旦校舎に戻らない？
そうだね。一旦状況を整理して、きちんと行動の目処を立てた方がいいと思う。
Yeah, let's do that. Komiya? Is it okay if you act with us from now on? It seemed like that wasn't in her plan, given the surprised look she just gave me. Regardless of whether what you told us is true, we should all act together. I'd like you to join us in our discussion. Or is there something that's stopping you from doing that? She muttered that wasn't the case. But contrary to her words, she broke our gaze in the most concerned, certainly troubled fashion. You seem to know the most about this situation. The verity of your information aside.
Yasunari nen osu ne.
I don't believe in the occult. Never have.
だから、Yasunariはもっとロマンを持ちなって。
Actually, the fact that you're taking this so well is occult enough for me. He always seemed like a laid-back guy, but I didn't expect him to keep that attitude even in a situation like this.
わかった。話には参加する。
As I was busy psychoanalyzing Itsuki, Komiya seemed to have finally reached her decision. That'll help a lot, thank you.
決まりました？じゃあ、行きましょう！
Sumika's cheerful voice acting as our cue, we began to leave the roof.
Yasunari.
But before I could take a step, Itsuki stopped me again. What?
さっきの話、なかなか面白いよ。
What are you talking about?
小宮さん、怪奇七不思議に殺されるって言ってたのに、人為的な殺人の可能性も肯定してた。
Now that I thought about it, she was really into that whole Seven Mysteries thing, but then she also agreed that us being assaulted by someone was probably related to her theory of us getting killed. I hope she isn't thinking about ghosts or something.
そっか。じゃあその幽霊は俺たちに何の恨みがあるんだろうな。
I think Shimiko would appreciate your theories more than me. And you don't need to tell me about passion again, okay?
先手を打たれたか。
I began walking, our conversation ended. It didn't matter whether it was a person or a ghost trying to kill us. We had to figure out how to get out of the situation alive. And from now on, I would base my decisions on that objective alone. We returned to the confines of the building, and since it was unoccupied anyway, we borrowed the closest classroom for our discussion. The sheer emptiness and silence of the room momentarily made me feel like I had wandered into some alternate dimension. I mean, we kinda did, though, in a way, right? Sumiko found herself a chair, sat down ahead of everyone, and suddenly let out a gasp as if having remembered something. What?
なんだか知ってるようなことを言われたので忘れてました。小宮ちゃん、私スミカです。柴谷スミカ。
Oh, so she just wanted to introduce herself. Right, no one besides Komi and myself had the chance to introduce themselves back then.
わかった。スミカ。あ、私、桜彩菜です。
I mean, we're going to die at midnight, right? Why are we bothering the formalities at this point? We should be scared out of our wits trying to figure this out. But this is Japan for you, and formalities take a precedence in everything, even death. Komiya gave Ayana a long and hard look. She did that on the roof too, now that I think about it.
なんだろう。
Ayana shot Komiya back a confused look.
なんでもない。
After that reaction, suspicious to say the least, she looked away.
リオちゃん不思議な子だね。ごめんなさい。謝らなくていいよ。これからよろしくね。よろしく。
After that, Itsuki introduced himself too. He gave Komiya's calm but youthful face another look. Started wondering about one other thing that bothered me a little. I haven't seen you in school before, Komiya. What year are you?
2.
That's the same as mine. Could it be you were sick or something until today, or are you a transfer student? Were you just looking around school when I saw you in the inner yard the other day?
そう。本当は明日から通うはずだったの。
Huh? So that means you snuck onto school grounds today?
ミナトゥール祭には参加したかったから。
I see. Outsiders couldn't partake in the miniature festival. It was an event exclusive to the students of the school. Well, I guess nobody would notice if she's wearing a uniform, though. That explained her absence during the speech, too. Tsumika, who was silent up until now, suddenly let out another gasp.
私、先輩になれなれしく小宮ちゃんとか呼んじゃいました。すみません、リオ先輩。
You sure care about these things.
好きに呼べばいいよ。わかりました、リオッチ。
I had no words.
ところでリオ先輩は好きなスイーツとかありますか？私、ティラミスとか好きです。
So you're going to dress her properly after all.
当たり前じゃないですか。失礼しちゃいますね。ミルクレープとか。
She didn't seem used to answering these kinds of questions.
好きなお菓子の話？だったら私は和菓子派かな。いいですね。
Crepes are awesome. Yumiko would agree.
お腹空いてきました。
The girls' talk escalated before I knew it. Though I guess that was all for the better, as it helped Komiya, who was looking pretty uncomfortable at first, to get the feel of our group.
小宮さん、結構ミステリアスな感じだよね。
Tsuki quietly addressed me as the girls were busy with their own topic. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
なんかすごくらしい感じがするな。こういうのを期待してたよ、俺は。
You should really start treating this more seriously. I guess his laid-back attitude was still better than panic, but I mean, it seemed like our lives were in danger and all.
で、イグサ先輩、話の整理は?
She made it sound as though it was my fault that we had digressed. Oh, hello. That was a little weird. You're the one who started talking about cakes. Anyway, Komiya, do you have even the smallest idea what we should do to turn this around?
私たちを閉じ込めたのが誰なのかをまず突き止めるのがいいと思うのだけど。
Seemed like she didn't have that much more of an idea than us. And for starters, do you think we should look around the rooms to see if there's no one else hiding here? And also check if there aren't any windows that would open while we're at it?
そうだね。なかったらどうしますか?
And then I'll just break one of the windows then.
先輩、そんなに青春こじらせたいんですか?
Look, we're gonna die. What do you want me to do?
よっしゃ、付き合いますぜ、兄貴。
I know, I let an exasperated sigh in response to our conversation.
まずはこの階からですね。
教室の窓は?
Sumika and Itsuki moved to check the windows. I tried opening one myself, but it was no good.
次、隣の教室。折本先輩は廊下お願いします。
仰せのままに。
Let's go, Anna. Anna left the classroom ahead of me.
ねえ、Yasunari.
Yes? I didn't expect her to call me out by my first name like that, so I turned to her momentarily at a loss for what to do.
どうかした?
No, I was just a bit surprised to be called so familiarly.
ダメだった。
That was perfectly alright. Anyway?
Yasunari は嫌なことや怖い記憶を意図的に忘れられたら。
What? That trick came out of nowhere?
なんとなく。
Really? I considered my answer for a moment. Would I want to forget bad and scary memories? Don't think I'd like that very much.
それが一生の足かせになったり死にたくなるようなことでも。
Well, it is our memories and our experiences that shape the person we are. To forget those would be like forgetting your own identity, really, right? Well, when you put it that way, I really don't know anymore.
そう。
For some reason, she seemed disappointed. I'm sorry, I guess that wasn't the right answer, was it?
本当にただ聞いてみただけだから気にしないで。
That was what she said, but she couldn't hide the almost palpable disappointment emanating from all of her features. Are you more of the bravado type yourself? I tried to soften the mood with a light joke.
強がりじゃなくて意志が強いの。
Well, that's quite a thing to say about yourself. Komiya gave me an indignant look. She looked so childish at that moment I couldn't contain a smile. Now that I looked at her again, she did look younger than her age, not to mention her height and her other attributes.
何か失礼なこと考えた。
You're imagining things? I was momentarily taken aback. She was quite perceptive, damn.
何してるのYasunari、リオちゃん。
I guess Ayana got worried about us not showing up for this long.
スミカちゃんも折本くんも待ってるよ。
Okay. Anyway, we've got to concentrate on doing something about this messed up situation for now. Komi and I left the room to join the others. Sumika was at the end of her patience.
イグサ先輩、今こそ終わりますよ。青春の過ちを犯しますよ。
We only checked the first floor so far.
でも真面目な話、これ他の回も期待はできないと思うよ。
Why?
だって鍵は閉まってないのに開かないし。
Tsuki tapped the window glass with his finger. Oh, that was true. None of the windows, both in the classrooms and the corridor, would open despite being obviously not locked. In that case, I guess it's time we try breaking them.
Yasunari、危ないよ。
I get the feeling they won't break anyway. I took the closest chair in my hands, but I'd still appreciate it if you moved aside, okay? Everyone took some distance from me. With that, I moved to the nearby desks aside, and with ample space to make wide movements, I took a few steps away from the window. Then I lifted the chair above my right hold and smashed it against the window with all of my might. Huh? The sound I heard didn't make any sense whatsoever. It was as though I hit a thick wall instead of window glass. The chair was knocked clean out of my hands.
Yasunari.
Ayana let out a surprised voice. I tried knocking against the window with the back of my hand, and it was not the dull sound of a thick wall, but the clear clang of glass that reached me this time instead.
Yasunari, Here
you go.
離れてて。
Now it was my turn to move aside. The sound rang louder in Itsuki's case, but the result was the same.
私にも試させて。
It was Komi I wanted to try next. Are you sure? This requires quite a bit of strength, you know.
大丈夫。気合でいける。
I don't think that's how it works, but alright. Just please give up before we end up with actual casualties. These things don't break for real.
わかった。
Komiya gave up to all of our relief.
じゃあ窓から出るのは本格的に無理ってことですか？どこか開くか割れるかする可能性は。
Given how many windows there were in the school in total, I was feeling confident I'd die from exhaustion before I could try breaking them all. I mean, it already didn't make sense for them not to open when they weren't even locked. If it was just one window, it could still be jammed in some fashion, but what would you have to do to make all of the windows in the school like that? Actually, what were they if not stuck then?
やっぱ働いてるんじゃないの？霊的な何かが。
Tsuki voiced that with other calmness.
いよいよ怪奇七不思議が現実味を帯びてきましたね。
Even I had to admit there was something abnormal about all of this.
だとしたら、小宮さんはどういうことだと思う？
Komiya seemed to have been taken off guard by Tsuki's sudden question.
打開策探してるんでしょ？
His tone was genuinely good-humored, but at the same time it carried an odd sense of pressure. Komiya, seemingly unable to come up with the answer right away, remained silent, her eyes lost in thought.
折本くん、そんな聞き方したらリオちゃんも困っちゃうよ。
Ayana tried salvaging the situation.
ごめん、俺可愛い子はからかいたくなる主義で。あ、ごめん、睨まないで。
で、どうするんです？このままじゃラッチが開きませんよ。あれ？これって本来なら
Yeah.
はあ、もうお帰りの時間ですよ。とりあえずここにいても仕方ないですし。
I agree. We all left the classroom together. Weird. What is it, Ayana? Ayana looked into the distance as if having noticed something there.
今、人影があったような気がしたんだけど。
Are you sure? If that wasn't just our imagination, that would mean we might be ignoring a vital clue right in front of our noses. It might look completely desolate, but it didn't mean someone else couldn't still be hiding in this place. Ayana seemed to be bothered too, her face as anxious as ever. Maybe we should check just in case. Where'd you see it? I took a step toward where Ayana was looking just then.
その女子トイレの方だったから。
Ah, I see.
じゃあ私たち3人で確認してきましょうか。
Sumika suddenly proposed a thing like that. Komiya made a small nod, but Ayana seemed hesitant.
綾菜先輩、怖かったら待っててもいいですよ。リオ先輩と見てきます。私も行くよ。自分の目で安全確認しないと不安だし。そうですか？じゃあ綾菜先輩も一緒しましょう。お二方は見張りをお願いします。
Yeah, be careful in there.
いってらっしゃい。
Soon enough, by Tsuki's smile, the girls disappeared into the bathroom. I just readied myself in case something unexpected happened. I gave Itsuki a quick glance only to realize the smile he wore earlier had vanished clear off his face. Uh-oh.
なあ、安成。
What?
真面目な話さ。柴谷さんといつどこで知り合ったの？
I didn't expect that question, but it was an obvious one to make. I don't remember that well.
そんなバカな話あるわけないだろ。でも、彼女も現れたんだとしたら、どうだろう。
Appeared?
この空間そのものが、すでに怪奇七不思議なんだよ。そして、 彼女はその一部。
I couldn't help but giving him a disbelieving look. You like the occult too much, you know that?
俺はさ、安成。
With that, like a calm smile. Not minding my look in the slightest, Suzuki continued, only a slight smile creeping onto his serious face.
この学校の怪奇七不思議について知りたくて、ここに入ったんだ。
Oh, yes, I've heard about cases like that.
この学校は。
And how is that?
箱庭なんて比喩じゃないよ。本当の箱庭だ。牢獄かもしれない。
What? Why?
ミナティール祭の神隠し。その翌日の変死体。大間が時に囚われる生徒。どう安成？なかなか今の状況に一致すると思わない？学校特有の怪奇七不思議は他にもいくつかある。知ってた？うちの学校あまりにもミナティール祭に変な噂が多いから外部の人には呪いの学園祭って言われてたりするんだ。
I got more and more anxious with his every word. There was an odd air about him, and as he continued to talk, thinking this guy isn't all he appears to be, thinking there's something more. Or maybe he was just good at telling things. His story, as unlike myself in it as it was completely overwhelmed me.
俺、絶対に誰か死ぬと思うよ。
How can you... Oh. Let's go. It was Ayana's voice. The next moment, Ayana dashed out of the girls' bathroom, looking completely out of it. She actually ran in the direction opposite of us.
待って、Ayana。
Next, Komiya appeared in the doorway and went after Ayana. Ayana? I followed after them. I crashed into Sumika, who was the last to appear. What the hell happened?
それが私にもよく。
She seemed to be confused too.
安成、俺が先に彩菜ちゃんたちを追いかけとくから。
Thank you. I tried giving the girls' bathroom a look, but it looked pretty normal. I doubt there'd been anyone beside those three inside. Can you explain what happened?
はい。
Suki went after Ayana and Komiya. I was worried, but he should manage alright. I entered the classroom and had the still seemingly confused Sumika sit at one of the vacant chairs. So what happened?
それが本当に私にもよくわからないんです。彩菜先輩がいきなり私を見て怯えたような表情を見せて。
A scared face? She was looking at you?
はい。
What the hell? She wasn't the type to joke around at a time like this, at least. You didn't do anything unusual before that happened.
私は特に何も。ただ。
Just what?
リオ先輩が。
Did she do something?
いきなり私たちにナイフを向けてきて。
That's what? I can't help but letting out a weird voice. A knife?
でも別に脅されたとか殺されそうになったとかそういうんじゃないんです。ただ私がちょっと冗談で脅かそうとしたせいというか。
I should have known you were to blame.
すみません。
Still pulling a knife was a bit out there, wasn't it? Actually, why'd she even have a knife? There was one more thing. Sumika, I'm still not seeing what happened. Komiya pulled out a knife, but Ayana ran away after looking at Sumika? That doesn't make any sense.
すみません。でも、あったのは本当にそのくらいなんです。
I couldn't make heads or tails of this crap. Guess there was nothing to do but ask Ayana herself. Okay, let's look for Ayana now. Are you, okay meeting her and all?
はい、私は大丈夫です。
Okay, let's go then. We left the classroom and continued in the direction Ayana had run off to. And I think that's where I'm going to end today's episode. And I think I will see you all on Friday as we continue Miniature Garden, trying to figure out the whole mystery behind everything. Someone is going to die at midnight, maybe all of us. You know, can we stop that? Is there a way to stop that? I'm assuming that whoever's behind it is probably still in the school somewhere. So we're going to have to try to find them, hopefully, and get some answers. Not to mention that Komiya is pretty mysterious herself. Thinking there's something more to that than what she's saying. She clearly has secrets she's keeping from us. She doesn't want us to tell us. But why, I wonder, you know? So, help us unravel the mystery more on Friday. Have a good day.